What's up, A to Z Sports Live, Titan Game Day Live. As the Colts are in Nissan Stadium, we are about 30 minutes away from kickoff between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans for the Titans' first AFC South divisional game of the season. Both teams in very, very desperate need of a win to extend any hope their season has. Dropping to 2-4 for the Colts would be a tough one. Dropping to 1-4 for the Titans off a bye week would basically nearly end the season if you include 1-4 and 0-1 in the AFC South. And the Colts just made a move this morning, made a decision that we've been talking about for most of this week. But Joe Flacco, surprise, he's going to be the starting quarterback against the Titans versus Will Levis. We'll talk about this. What does this mean about this move from the Colts between Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson? Because Richardson is inactive. We'll talk more about that. Other guys in the Colts injury report that are active for this game that we thought might be out going back to like Wednesday. So Easton, we've got a ton to squeeze into this 30-minute show. It's a good thing that this kickoff is at 12:02, not just 12 straight up. We got 2 extra minutes here.
Fantastic.
So welcome in, everybody. I hope everybody's doing a great job. Let's get this thing rolling. But first, Easton, tell the people what they got to do.
Hello, good morning, people. It's a great day for football, and it's a great day to share the show. Help us out by hitting that like button. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, we appreciate you being here before the Titans game. Help us out by hitting that thumbs up right below our pretty faces. That will do wonders for us to get this to as many live people this morning as humanly possible. So hit that thumbs up, hit the share show link button, send the link to a buddy, tell them to get in here, get their mind right for the Titans versus the Colts today. Excited for, the bees are buzzing, the birds are chirping, the Jaguars have already lost. It's a great day for Titans football.
Yeah, Jags just got stomped in London by Caleb Williams and the Bears. But let's get it going officially. Welcome into A to Z Sports Titan pregame show, powered by X Golf Nashville and Murfreesboro, and also by our friends at BetMGM. I want to thank all of our partners before we officially get going here. Before every Titans game, we've got our halftime show and our post-game show throughout today as the Titans host the Colts. X Golf Nashville and now in Murfreesboro, the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee. X Golf, play, train, entertain. Visit them at playxgolf.com. BetMGM, log in today, get your Pro Football Boost Pack to acquire tokens for even more winnings. BetMGM is an official partner of the Tennessee Titans. And TDOT, be part of the solution to end littering and make sure nobody trashes Tennessee, especially on game day, by visiting nobodytrashestennessee.com. So the Titans are still, I checked it, a 2.5-point favorite at BetMGM, Easton, even after the news that comes out that Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback who put up 34 points against the Jags in a losing effort a week ago. Anthony Richardson will miss a second consecutive game after he left a couple games ago with a hip injury, a hip pointer. Looks to be the I guess hip pointer / oblique, whatever they want to call it officially. He was a full participant for the majority of the week of practice, and then he has been ruled inactive after being questionable. And it's not just Joe Flacco, Easton. It is also the fact that Michael Pittman Jr. and Josh Downs, both wide receivers who spent a lot of time not practicing or limited at practice, they are both active. Jonathan Taylor's out. We knew that on Friday. For the Titans, everybody that really matters to an extent is healthy and active. Keandre Coburn is the only exception right there. And then just to round out the news, Easton, there's a new starter at right tackle for the Tennessee Titans. That would be Leroy Watson, as NPF has been benched. You said I buried the lead. NPF benched, Joe Flacco starting. Which is the bigger lead of
clearly
the show?
The Titans right tackle, clearly.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, this is we talked a lot. I did not expect this. I was waking up today. I went to bed last night / this morning after watching the Colorado-Kansas State game, thinking that the Titans were going to play against Anthony Richardson today. But no, it is the old man, Joe Flacco. What are your thoughts?
That's right. And I wrote an article on Wednesday of this week about what it would look like if the Titans had to face either quarterback. And I got a lot of people responding to that article like, why'd you even write this? It's going to be Richardson. He's practicing all week. This is why I wrote it, because there was always a chance that it was going to be Joe Flacco. And we're going to talk this morning briefly about what it means for the Titans, maybe what it means for the Colts in terms of their desperation level, playing Flacco in this game, giving their franchise guy another week to get right. But man, it is, I think, ultimately bad news for the Titans. That was the crux of my article, is that a rare circumstance in which you're kind of hoping the team you're playing gets their starting quarterback back, because I think Flacco is awesome. I think he's the best backup in the league. I've made this clear. Now, I'm seeing a lot of folks in the comments saying it's Flacco, it's over. It's a wrap. We had a chance against Richardson. I do want to pump the brakes because I'm about as big a Flacco fan as you'll find in terms of my belief in him to win games.
As a backup.
As a backup. But he is a backup. And as much as you think Flacco might be a better option than Richardson, Flacco did lose to the Jaguars last week. So, let's keep the perspective here of this is a team that with Flacco still managed to lose to the Jaguars last week. You can say, well, he put up 34 points. Well, the Bears just did it to Jacksonville as well. It seems like anybody can put up 34 points on the Jaguars right now. They're a hapless team, at least defensively. So do I think the Titans are toast because Joe Flacco is the quarterback today? No, I don't think so. Do I think, like we talked at length about earlier this week, Austin, they're going to have to find a different way to win than bank on the quarterback making mistakes? Yeah, I do. And luckily, the Titans have a very good defense. So I think that they're perfectly capable of keeping Joe Flacco in this offense at bay. Yeah. I am curious to see how much these hobbled receivers, how well they move. Michael Pittman was apparently an IR candidate earlier this week, and now he's going to be out there playing through a back injury. I'm certainly not hoping injury on him, but I think it's fair to wonder how well he's going to move out there. Josh Downs hobbled as well. No Michael Pittman is a big thing for this offense. So I think the Titans stand in a perfectly fine chance in this game. It's just going to be tougher with Flacco.
Oh, so we asked the question. I think it was either Tuesday's or Wednesday's show. Can't remember exactly.
I think it was Tuesday.
Maybe Tuesday. So 4 options of quarterback starter combos, right? And we asked the audience, which one would you want to have happen between the Titans starter and the Colts starter? Well, the 2 options that got the most votes had Anthony Richardson as the Colts starter. Right. 84% of the total votes wanted Anthony Richardson to play this game for the Colts, and only 14, 15, 16% wanted Joe Flacco. Now, it was a lot closer when it came to Will Levis or Mason Rudolph for the Titans side of things. Will Levis was the number one. I want to say he was around 42, 44%. And right. The Mason Rudolph votes were in the high 30s. So it was definitely more people wanted Levis than Rudolph. On one hand, I thought, okay, I picked Rudolph versus Richardson because I would rather eliminate the biggest wild card in the game, which is the Will Levis turnovers, but I'd also want to play against the biggest wild card for the Colts, which is Anthony Richardson turnovers. Both guys are tied for the NFL high in 6 interceptions, and only Will Levis can break that tie today. So we'll find out.
I had a parlay on that, by the way. I had an over 0.5 interceptions for both Richardson and Levis riding today. Was looking forward to it. Now it's dead.
Yep, it is dead. Bummer about that. So I want to throw this out there because I said this to you in a pregame show, and I did not let you answer it because I want you to answer it right now, and I want the audience to do it too. True or false? The Colts starting Joe Flacco versus the Titans proves they are the more desperate team to win this game. So, true or false? The Colts starting Joe Flacco proves that they are more desperate than the Titans to win this game. It doesn't mean the Titans are not desperate to win this game, but the Colts may be more desperate. True or false? I'm going to put it up there on our YouTube poll as well. And we'll get to our X-Golf X Factor and all things for the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Kickoff is at 12:02, so we still got 23 minutes to go through this. But Easton, I will let you start. True or false, starting Joe Flacco proves the Colts are more desperate than the Titans to win this game?
False. I don't think that move proves that they are more desperate. Now, it's my opinion on this is interesting because I don't know if I said it on the show this week, but I talked to you and I talked to Sam and people behind the scenes this week about how I felt the Colts are the more desperate team coming in. So I do think they're the more desperate team. I don't think the Flacco move proves it, if that makes sense. They're trying to stave off an 0-3 start in the AFC South with a loss to all 3 teams, right? You can't do it. As bad as 1-4 for the Titans would be, they will have only played 1 divisional game. The Colts are looking at being halfway through the most important games of their season and winning none of them. That is desperation time. And so I think, things like Pittman playing in this game, Downs playing in this game, some of those things from this week where guys were really questionable and now they're going to be a go, that kind of shows the desperation there a little bit. But I think the Colts really, I take them at their word when they said this week they really wanted it to be Richardson, and they ultimately are taking the long approach with him. I think it's more of a convenient thing, Austin, than it is a kind of a kill two birds with one stone kind of thing, because they know they're desperate for this game.
I think I'll let you get to the chat here in a second on this.
Sure.
I think this says yes. I think this is a true fact that the Colts are more desperate because look,
I think it's convenient.
Again,
I think it's convenient.
Anthony says, how a 1-win team not desperate? So Anthony, I'm not saying that, again, I preface this. Maybe Anthony wasn't necessarily listening. Anthony Ham, not Mally. We got multiple Anthonys in here, but they are more desperate than the desperate Titans because the Titans, their objective is to not fight for the playoff spot really this year. We all know that, right? Mm-hmm. They've been humbled a little bit. The Colts, with a win, can get to 500, and that makes things very close. And the Colts have also lost more games with Anthony Richardson as the starter than they have won. They've actually won the games when he has exited with an injury more often than they lose the game. So Anthony Richardson is not a win for this team. He is not the way that he's not their safest way to win a game, and especially against the Titans, thinking, hey, if you're from the Colts perspective, you're thinking all we have to do is not turn the ball over and let Will Levis give us this game. And then so you put Flacco in there, who's also going to air the football out, complete 70% of his passes. You've got all of your top receivers. You don't have your top running back. I think this is a true statement that the Colts are more desperate than the Titans. The Titans also desperate, but more desperate because they are playing the safest quarterback to set themselves up for a win.
Right, and we disagree on this. I agree that they are the more desperate team. I don't think them playing Flacco is proof positive of that. I think that playing Flacco is a convenience for them. I think it's a kill two birds with one stone. We get our guy that we're still riding with in Richardson, give him another week to get healthy, but also they may very well feel that they can eliminate that X factor of Richardson by playing Flacco and bank on the Titans making a mistake in this one. So I'm like halfway there with you on it, but I don't think this move is the thing that proves that they're so desperate. I just think that they are.
Okay, that's fair. King Nat asked, when's the last time Levis won a game, like as the quarterback at the end of the game? Do you know that off the top of your head? I think I do, but I also think I could be wrong.
Miami, right? It was Miami. I think
Miami
so.
Monday night. Last Monday night? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Miami because the Panthers game was before Miami.
Right, and then he got hurt to the end of the year. So they won some more game, or they won at least one more game, but it was Tannehill.
Correct. And I believe it was Miami Monday night in December of 2023. So, about 10 months ago. And now AJ says today will be the next time.
That's right, AJ. I like that mindset, baby.
That is positive. All right, let's get to X factors here because actually real quick, let me update the YouTube poll because 72% say true. 72% say true. Colts starting Joe Flacco versus the Titans prove they're the more desperate team to win this game. So I think that's interesting. That's a big percentage of Titans fans. So we'll see how that plays out. But I do want to get to the X-Golf X Factor because Easton and I both have an X Factor on either side of the football for the Titans to win this game. So who or what will be the X Factor for our X-Golf X Factor for a Titans win today over the Colts? Who or what will be the X-Golf X Factor for a Titans win over the Colts today? We want to read your comments here on this pregame show presented by our friends at X Golf Nashville and also in Murfreesboro. They are the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee, and X Golf is so much fun. It is the best simulator on the golf market today. It's also an incredible sports bar. Like you could take away the golf simulators and X Golf would be a great sports bar. You can take away the sports bar and X Golf would be a fantastic golfing simulation experience. But when you put those two things together, you get a great spot to hang out, whether you're watching college football on Saturday, the NFL all day long on Sunday or Monday night or Thursday night, or whenever the NFL wants to play games later on this year on Black Friday. Great opportunity. Hey, Black Friday, X Golf Nashville and Murfreesboro, while somebody else is doing some shopping, you can go out and get some swings in, especially as the weather starts to get a little cooler. It's great weather right now, but X Golf, it's always 75 and sunny, and you can play whatever course you want to on their simulators. It's got the best feature that I know of golf simulators, the automatic tee, right? You just use your club head to push a button and it tees your golf ball up perfectly for you. It's awesome. So X Golf is where to go. PlayXGolf.com for X Golf Nashville and Murfreesboro. PlayXGolf.com. So, Easton, I'll have you go to the chat first. X factor for the Titans win today. What's the chat saying to get them involved? And we'll get to ours.
All right. The chat is saying, I'm trying to find a common theme here. It's kind of all over the board. Mark is saying it's the running game. Jake is saying it's that right tackle situation. Vanessa says it's the defense. Lane is going with the tackles as well. Need some protection for Levis back there. Amnesia in all caps. Devondre Sweat, another big game from the rookie. Stevie goes with the obvious here. It's Will Levis. A couple other folks like Anthony saying it's the coaching. Corey Heath says Tony Pollard needs to establish the run today. Andrew says the Titans, I think he's predicting the Titans don't score over 17 points, but they need to score more than 17 if they want to win this game. Dylan, all over it with the turnovers, got to protect the ball. Jay says Levis and the offensive line, Ethan, Leroy Watson. So a lot of focus on the obvious things here, protecting the ball, protecting Will Levis, and Will Levis also not doing dumb things, right? That's the holy trinity of Titans football this year. If they can do that, I'm relatively confident they can win. Austin, my X factor in this game, I've got the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going to reiterate something that we talked about earlier this week. Especially with Flacco being in there, the Titans defense has been nails so far this year when it comes to keeping teams from taking the top off the defense. They have they've allowed very few, or maybe none. Am I forgetting it? Very few, if any. Yeah. Okay. I'm right about that. They've allowed none, no passes downfield, 10 or more air yards. Correct.
I thought it was 40 or more yards.
Okay. Whatever it is. Yeah. Okay. I'm double checking. You're right. It's 40. Zero completion. No.
10 would be insane.
Okay. So here's the stat. I probably should have written this down. Here's the stat. They have allowed so far a league low 9 completions of 10 or more air yards downfield this season. It's a defensive success rate of 37.5% on such attempts, the 4th highest in the NFL. So the point being, when teams try to pass deep downfield, the Titans have them covered up. However, Joe Flacco, just a game and a half sample size so far, but this goes to last season as well when he was playing for the Browns. He has been particularly fantastic on those passes of 10 or more air yards downfield. Just last week, he went 9 of 15 on those passes, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns, a plus 9.7% completion percentage over expected. So my X factor for the Titans today is keep their streak alive, keep their rate of keeping teams from passing downfield alive. Don't allow old man Flacco and Alec Pierce or whoever it is the Colts have running deep today to generate these massive 50, 60, 70-yard touchdown plays. That's going to be the way the Colts beat you. And they did it last week against the Jaguars. They did the week previous. They're going to try it, and Alec Pierce has been really good at it this year so far. So whoever is covering him downfield, whether it's the safeties picking him up or a corner running with him from the line of scrimmage, got to generate protection deep downfield because the Colts are going to try to test you there.
Yeah, Alec Pierce is averaging like almost 25 yards a catch on the season. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's all he does.
First downs per catch.
It's all he does.
Yes, it's crazy. And Michael Pittman and Josh Downs are both active, and Joe Flacco has absolutely aired it out. So my X factor from X Golf, Nashville and Murfreesboro. Nashville's closer to me, but Murfreesboro also great for you guys in that area of town. I'm going to go with a trend that the Colts defense has been allowing. Because the title of the show today is Joe Flacco surprise start, does throw a wrench in Will Levis's get right game versus the Colts. Because the Colts defense has been a get right game for the last 4 weeks in the NFL. Because how about this? And shout out to Destin Adams of A2ZSports.com dropping this knowledge on 3HL on 104.5 this past week. That's 4 games in a row the Colts defense has allowed a quarterback to get right. Malik Willis, career yards in passing yards against this Colts defense, and he broke it the next week against the Titans. But then you have Caleb Williams set his brand new career high in passing yards. Then Justin Fields set his career high in passing yards. And then Trevor Lawrence throws for 371 yards on this defense last week. So there's 4 quarterbacks in a row getting right and their teams having a chance to win because of what they can do down the field and in the air. So Will Levis, he's playing the shoulder injury. We'll find out if that has any play into this game or not, but he has an opportunity to take advantage of one of the NFL's worst defenses overall. They should be able to run the football and throw the football. Yards are available against this Colts defense. You just have to keep the ball in your possession, getting first downs. Can Will Levis take advantage of the get right opportunity that the Colts have presented the last 4 weeks?
I think you're giving folks in the comments heart palpitations there because we got a lot of answers of establishing the run as an X factor. But
Yeah.
you're right, Austin. It's been a get right game for not just any quarterbacks the last 4 weeks. It's been a lot of young, unproven, and older, still unproven quarterbacks that have looked really good. So it's not like the Colts defense has been, torn up 4 weeks in a row by guys that we expect to tear up defenses. It's been guys that could use a get right game, and Will Levis absolutely falls into that category. So as much as I do think the Titans are going to run the ball today, don't expect it to look like Miami. It's not going to be a second half. Unless they just get out to an amazing lead like they did in Miami. I don't think you're going to get a half where they, complete one pass. They're going to try to pass against this Colts defense.
Yeah, I agree. So we haven't talked a lot about it because the Joe Flacco news of the morning kind of smothered the NPF benched news out of the bye week. Why do you think that happened? I just genuine question. Why do you think the Titans go with Leroy Watson, a guy who, if I remember correctly, did not make the roster coming out of training camp and has been on the practice squad? But why do you think he gets the start over NPF?
So a couple reasons. One, he's a guy that clearly Bill Callahan has some faith in. They traded a 7th round pick for him to go and get him from Cleveland in the offseason. So just because he didn't make the roster and has been on the practice squad doesn't mean that he's not a guy that the Titans value. They gave up value to get him. I think that the timing was convenient, right? You got the full buy to get a guy mentally right. This is not something that, they made up their mind on, I think, this morning. I'm sure that they've been prepping Watson the past 2 weeks to get him ready to go. Speaking to Bill Callahan on was Thursday or Friday this week, the way he talked about it kind of hinted at, I'm not super surprised by this move based on what we heard from Bill Callahan, because the way that he talked about it made it sound like this was a possibility. And then, for a guy like MPF, it's a wake up call, right? It's, you're going to get your butt put on the bench. It's a lot of fans constantly calling for teams to try something else. I don't care what it is. Change something. Don't keep banging your head into the wall. Well, here the Titans are. And so if it's a disaster today at right tackle and MPF's back out there before halftime, I don't think fans have a right to get upset, because the Titans are at least trying something different. They're trying to get something going there. And we'll see if it works. Personally, I'm not sure it'll look awesome, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Orlando had a comment. I worry about Latu on Leroy Watson. So you actually talked to Destin, who I mentioned earlier, works for A to Z Sports, covering the Colts for us. You did a great job. You and Destin collaborated on a back and forth piece on JC Latham versus Latu, 2 first-round rookies that are living up to the bill. I don't think Latu's going to go up against Leroy Watson if you look at the data from the first 5 games of the Colts season, right?
Right. 88% of the time so far this year, Latu has been lined up as that right edge, which is who plays the offensive left tackle. So, I wouldn't be shocked if today was his highest percentage of playing on that right side, because you do want to take advantage if he is there. And I need to look at the Colts inactives again, but I think he's expected again today to be their primary pass rusher. Okay, no, so
out. Yeah.
So I believe
Kwity
they
Paye
get back
playing.
Kwity Paye, right? Yes.
Yep, correct.
Okay, so Latu may be on the left tackle all day long, and so you may get that rookie on rookie matchup, and then you do need to worry about whoever it is, Latu, Paye, whoever it is, do worry about them on Watson or MPF, whoever it is on the Titan side of the ball. That is a concern, as it is every week.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I want to get to some super chats because we've got some numbers that I think are going to be interesting too. King VC does says, lock in, like the show, hit that like button for us if you haven't yet on Facebook and YouTube. Like the show. It really does go a long way for us with the algorithms to help us keep growing right there. Amnesia comes in, says Colts bench Richardson for this game. They don't want to lose. Yeah, I think this proves that the Colts are a little bit more desperate than the Titans desperate level. But TLG says the Colts tight ends are about to go crazy. LOL. Linebackers are toast. Now, this isn't exactly like Jack Doyle's not over there catching passes for the Colts at tight end, but Mo Alley Cox is a very capable guy.
The Colts, not a team known for their tight end receiving prowess.
Unless they play the Titans.
Right, exactly.
Then they absolutely are. So, Easton, I know you had a number because I tweeted something last night that I'll bring up, but I also have another number. I saw this was tweeted by somebody on the A to Z Sports account. I'm guessing this was Samuel Phelan. It says a Titans win today would give them back-to-back wins for the first time since November of 2022. So almost 2 full years. So back-to-back wins for the first time since November of 2022. A Titans win would accomplish that. A Titans win today, Easton, would accomplish the triumvirate of Vols win, Vandy win, and Titans win on the same weekend since when?
Right. So that's what I went and looked up this morning. And it's funny you mentioned the last time they had back-to-back wins, because the last time the Titans won back-to-back, I know what those games were. That was in November of 22. It was against the Broncos. And then it was against you got to guess, Thursday Night Football.
Packers.
It was the Packers. That was the game that many Titans historians look back on as the end of the dynasty, because after that Thursday night Packers loss, remember that was the Traylon Burks breakout game. Titans go into Green Bay in the winter. They win big time. I mean, I think they were like 8-3 coming out of that game, looking good. 7-3, whatever it was. They lost 8 in a row after that game, spanning into the next season. Since that Thursday Night Football game, they are 7-21 to this point today. But again, the reason I know that last time they won back-to-back was because that Broncos game, the game right before the Green Bay game, the first of that back-to-back win, that was the last weekend that the Titans, the Vols, and the Commodores all won on the same weekend. Something that is very rare.
I do know who the Vols beat that weekend.
Okay,
they hung, I want to say 50 plus on Missouri.
66-24. Okay. They beat Missouri. So the
Titans. I have no recollection of what Vandy did that weekend.
Okay. Well, see, that's the thing. Finding the last time they all won, really all you have to do is go through Vandy wins, because they're so few and far between, and then cross-reference with Vols and Titans wins. Yep. So the Titans on November 13th of that year, they beat the Broncos 17-10. Your Volunteers the day before on the 12th beat Missouri 66-24. Yep. And also on the 12th, Vandy won 24-21 against Kentucky.
Oh, guess who did Vandy beat? Yes. And that was at Kentucky. How about that?
Both games at Kentucky. I don't know.
And the Vols did play at Mizzou. No, they played home versus Mizzou. Look that up. Home versus Mizzou, at Kentucky for Vandy, home versus Florida for Tennessee.
It was home.
And home for the Titans. All right. Let's go ahead and flip into this. Game predictions now that we just told you the last time the Titans, the Vols, and Vandy all won in the same weekend. Vandy won at Kentucky, and they won at Kentucky. Diego Pavia mania is.
I'm not saying it's something, but
it might be. All right, predictions. I've got a bet that I'm on today, but the Titans are 2.5-point favorites versus the Colts. The kickoff is about 4 minutes. So get your predictions in here. Shout out to BetMGM. You can always sign up with our bonus code ATOZ Sports. That gets you up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet misses. That's for new users, but existing users, you open your app on Sundays and you get Pro Football Boost tokens for more winnings, whether it's a parlay boost, insurance, just an odds boost in general. They're all trying to get you more winnings and more opportunities to have fun with the entire pro football slate with BetMGM. So it is prediction time. Drop your predictions in the chat. Easton, I will tell you as the chat predictions roll in, I have taken Nick Folk over 7.5 kicking points today. That is where we're at with the Titans, because I have no idea what to do on the line, on the total for player props for Will Levis, other than interception over 1.5, but I'm not going to bet that, probably juiced up. But Nick Folk over 7.5 kicking points, I got it at plus 110. It was plus 105 still this morning. So Nick Folk over 7.5 is where I'm going. I need
how many kicking points did he have last week? 74. I mean, he had a million last week.
Yes,
so
a lot.
Most
that's
of the Titans points for him.
That's my bet. Do you have something you're on today before we get to some official predictions?
I kind of slacking today. I have a lot of bets, but very few of them are Titans related, because all week long I kept going to the props, and Vegas, those cowards with so much uncertainty, they wouldn't hang props for guys. There's like no Colts props out there. So, I do, just kind of looking at it, I don't mind the under. I think in a nasty divisional game with a couple of uncertain offenses, I wouldn't be surprised. And that number actually continues to drop down. So it opened opened this week at 44.5. Right this minute, sitting at 41.5. So actually, I'm not sure I love it anymore. I'm not gonna just give out a bet to give out a bet, because I don't love anything this week. I just I want to see the Titans win a ball game. So I guess we can there's some score predictions here.
A lot of Titans wins in the chat right here. I've yet to see. I'm going just chronologically from the very beginning.
Who's the first person to say the Titans lose here?
Andrew Frill. Titans lose 34-17.
Lose bad. Ooh.
Yeah, and that's the MB with the 27-20 Colts. But look, I mean, here we go. We got another Mark Beach is a Colts win, but I mean, this is 90% Titans predictions. Now, obviously, we are a Titans audience here, the Titans show. Will Dotson has a loss there. So, Easton, what is your prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 23-17. Titans get the win. I do think you'll see a healthy number of field goals in this one. But I won't say the confidence is super high, but I do think the Titans get their first home win. And so I think that they win by 6 points today. Give me Titans 23-17, and the under cash is there.
Which, if you want to just continue the parallels between the last time the three state teams, Tennessee, Vandy, and Titans all won the same weekend, 23-17, the score of last night, Tennessee went over Florida in overtime. As Vandy won at Kentucky. I had 23 points for the Titans.
Okay.
But I've got 31 for the Colts.
Ooh.
31-23 is my prediction. Titans lose. They're 1-4. 23 points is better than 17, better than the last time they were at Nissan Stadium, but not enough. I think this Joe Flacco start is bad news for the Tennessee Titans. So I say 31-23. The Titans are 1-4. I could be wrong.
Okay. That'd be a disappointing day for the defense. That would be a disappointing defensive effort.
It would be. Absolutely. All right. Want to thank all of our great partners out the door. We do have our halftime show coming up right at halftime, and our post-game show. X Golf Nashville, Murfreesboro, the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee. PlayXGolf.com. BetMGM, log in today. Get your Pro Football Boost Pack to acquire more tokens. BetMGM, an official partner of the Tennessee Titans. NT. Be part of the solution to end littering and make sure nobody trashes Tennessee. Visit nobodytrashestennessee.com, and we will see you guys at halftime. Appreciate it as always. Bye.